What's up, everybody? I'm Jeremy with Grassroots Powsurfing. Today I'm going to show you guys how to wax your Powsurfer. This is one of hundreds of videos that we have on YouTube and social media. So if you like what you're seeing, please like, share, subscribe. All that stuff helps my channel grow. It helps me be able to justify pouring hours and hours into the creation of both how-to videos and more action videos, documentary videos, all about the lifestyle of Powsurfing. All right, let's wax a board. The things you're gonna need: wax. Bluebird wax is the best. Bluebirdwax.com. Scraper, Brillo pads, and an iron. We're gonna wax using an iron just as you would a snowboard or skis. Second method I'm gonna show you, we'll be using a heat gun and more of the crayon method and a paper towel to buff with. Let's do this. So if you do have any old wax on the board, you're going to want to scrape that off, especially if there's any chunks. If you get the iron too hot and leave it on the base for too long, you're going to end up bubbling up the base just as you would a skis or snowboard. So you want to get it at just the right temp and you will drip the wax on. This is a Bluebird all temperature wax. That's usually what I use. Unless it's going to be really cold out. In that case, I'll use the cold wax, but generally an all temp gets you covered. And just like a snowboard, you'll go ahead, circular motions. The tail and the nose on these boards is a lot easier to wax than the channels, obviously, because of the three-dimensional characters of them. So the most time-intensive part is going to be getting in these channels. And I do that same circular motions. I use the tips, I use the sides of the iron to get down in to those channels. Like I said, this is going to take quite a bit more time than a regular old snowboard, but the beauty of the 3D base will shine huge in your riding and your control. So it's well worth the time it takes to wax. All right, once you've completely coated the board, you're then going to want to scrape it. Scraping off the excess wax because you want just a thin coat. A lot of the time with a traditional snowboard, you're going to be scraping tip to tail. I'll do that on the nose and the tail, but through the belly of the board, through here in the waist, I'm going to want to scrape side to side so I can get down in those channels. All the wax scraped down to a thin film, and I'm going to use the Scotch pad to buff it tip to tail. You want to do this tip to tail, and you can kind of feel if there's any thick spots, you can kind of feel those with your fist. You just give those a little more elbow grease and smear them down so that it's just a completely smooth film on the bottom of the board. That bad boy is ready to rip. That wax job should probably last you 4 or 5 rides. Kind of depends on the type of snow you're riding in, but it's usually good for quite a few rides given a proper hot wax. There's a lot of benefits to a PTEX base, obviously. It's not only going to be a lot faster of a ride, it's also going to hold wax much longer because the wax is going into the pores in the PTEX. It also does wonders for durability. Protecting the edges from dings from logs and rocks. It also makes repair much easier as well. If you do get a ding or a D-lam or something like that from making contact with a rock or a stump, it will add years and years to the life of your Powsurfer. If you're wondering about these things, this is Tundra Grip. Really helps with your grip if you want to get it pretty aggressive on your Powsurfer. I put some strips on almost every one of my boards. If you're getting really aggressive and you're bouncing around, you're jumping around, you're making really aggressive turns, it's a pretty good idea to have a little extra traction on your board, especially in coastal style conditions where it's a little bit wetter snow. It can kind of clump and be harder to remove from the top of your Powsurfer. Tundra Grip is great stuff, and it's available at powsurf.com/shop. So I'm going to grab this other board and we'll show you the other method All right, this is a 145 Stealth. Needs a wax job, and I think I'm gonna do a little repair on it, demonstration for you guys later. Step one, you're gonna wanna clean your base and get your bar wax. As a pro tip, I always carry a little piece of wax in a bag in my coat pocket. In case my board is running slow, I can whip that out and just give it a crayon job on slope. That'll get you through, that'll help. It'll be better than no wax. But obviously a hot wax is gonna do a much better, more thorough job that lasts quite a bit longer. But it's a good idea to keep a little piece of wax on you for the field. A little field wax. It can be tricky in the cold, but it's better than nothing. So now we're gonna go crayon method plus heat gun plus a buff. This is quite a bit easier and faster to do. What's nice about the crayon job is it's a little less messy than the hot wax. You have less to scrape away. Pretty much all this wax is going to melt down into the board. Probably not going as deeply into the pores as a proper hot wax would, but it's gonna be better than the crayon and go method, that's for sure. So once you're satisfied with your crayon job, bust out your heat gun, but you wanna go easy. You don't wanna ruin your base. If you sit there and hold the heat gun in one place, you're obviously gonna bubble up your base and ruin your base. Now I can see, as I move it along, I can see the wax melting in. You can also see areas that you may have missed with your crayon, so that's pretty helpful. So obviously you want to keep this thing moving. Don't hold it in one place for a long time or you'll melt your base. Now you can take a paper towel, smooth this out. It's still pretty warm. Give it a little buff here too with the Scotch pad. Not nearly as many areas to smooth out because it went on crayon style. So that's a pretty quick, easy job. Feels nice and smooth. It's hot in here now. Whew, that heat gun. But that'll get you going. And even if it's not really getting deep in the pores, it melts it down so you can smooth it out and have a nice smooth coat of wax. There you go. Waxing your three-dimensionally based Powsurfer. Thanks for checking out this video. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like, comment. The subscription really helps me be able to make more Powsurf videos and how-to videos in the future. If you've seen our social media content or YouTube channel, you'll know it's stacked with literally hundreds and hundreds of action videos, documentary videos, all about Powsurfing since the beginning till now. So we're stoked to keep more of those coming, but we really need your support. It's a heck of a lot of work to not only build all the boards, market all the boards, ship all the boards, but make video and feed the stoke for the entire movement. So your help is super supported. Hit us up, www.powsurf.com or at Powsurf on Instagram. Any social media account handles Powsurf. We're the original Powsurf company. What can we say? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out in the white waves.